Session simply means a particular interval of time. What is mean by session? Interval of time. Session tracking is a way to maintain the state of the end user. One more time. What is session? Session simply it means a particular interval of time. Session tracking is a way to maintain the state of an user. It is also known as session management in servlet. Are you clear? Sir, session tracking and I want to maintain a state of an user, and it's known as session management servlet. What is session tracking? It is a way, session tracking is a way to maintain state of an user. It is also known as session management in servlet. HTTP protocol is a stateless protocol. So we need to maintain the state using session tracking techniques. One more time. HTTP is a protocol, is a stateless protocol. So we need to maintain the state using session tracking techniques. Each time user requests to the user server treats the request as a new request. So we need to maintain the state of a user to recognize a particular user. Advainda? Last session you said an example. Ante HTTP is a one protocol. By default is a stateless protocol to maintain the state using session tracking technique. Each time user requests to the server treats the request as a new request. So we need to maintain the state of a user to recognize the particular user. Are you clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you understand the point? Right. Next. One more time. HTTP is a stateless protocol. To maintain the state between the user, to maintain the state using a session tracking techniques. So each time user requests to the server treats the request as a new request. So we need to maintain the state of a user to recognize to particular user. HTTP is stateless. That means each request is considered as new request. It is a new request. Very good. So what I'm trying to say you in the last session, you've seen that using HTTP protocol, we can try to make a request. Okay. Why we use session tracking, guys? Why we use session tracking? To recognize the user. It is used to recognize a particular user. One more time. Why we use session tracking? To recognize the user. It is used to recognize the particular user. To recognize the user. It is used to recognize the particular user. To recognize the user. It is used to recognize the particular user. Recognize the user. It is used to recognize the particular user. Session tracking techniques. There are 4 techniques used in session tracking. One is cookies, hidden form field, URL rewriting, HTTP session. మీకు గుర్తుందా లాస్ట్ సెషన్ మనం hidden form field చేసాం? Are you remember? Right. Now let me try to అర్థమైందమ్మా నేను చెప్పేది ఏమన్నా? Yesterday we did like hidden form field techniques. Now let me try to talk about cookies in a servlet. Right. Okay, Shiva, I got it. Next, let me try to show you this one. Right. Next. Actually, it's right. ఇదే కదా మనం చేసిన లాస్ట్ సెషన్ అమ్మా. Yes. ఇది right? Yes or no? ఇదే కదమ్మా hidden fields. Copy. Then just I'll change the same example, sir. I'll use cookie, sir. Super. Now, let's try to talk about cookie. Sir, what is the use of, I hope understand, to recognize the user? It is used to recognize the particular user. Why we use session tracking? Why we use session track? ఎందుకు session tracking వాడాలి? అరే బాబా వాడిని గుర్తుపెట్టుకోవడానికి ఎవరిని user. It is used to recognize the particular user. To recognize the user. One more time. Why we have to use this one? To recognize the user. To recognize the user. It is used to recognize the particular user. Recognize the particular user. What about session tracking techniques, guys? There are 4 techniques used in session tracking. One is cookies. Second one is hidden form field. Third one, URL rewriting. Fourth one, HTTP session. There are 4 techniques used in session tracking. One is cookie, hidden form field, URL rewriting, HTTP session. So now let me talk about cookies. What do you mean by cookie? Arey baba. Cookie is a small textual information. Cookie is a small textual information. It is persisted between the multiple client requests. What is a cookie, guys? Cookie is small piece of information. It is persisted between the multiple client requests. A cookie has a name, a single value, and optional attributes such as comment, path, and domain qualifiers, a maximum age and version number. A cookie in servlet. A cookie is a small piece of information. It is persistent between the multiple client requests. So I can say like this generally, cookie is a small textual information. It maintains the state on client machine. A cookie has a name, single value. Okay. How generally cookie works? By default, each request is considered as a new request. In cookies technique, we add a cookie with a response from the servlet. So cookie is stored the cache of the browser. After that, if request is sent by the user, cookie is added with a request by default. Recognize the user as the old user. Recognize the user as old user. Are you understand, please? Right. What are cookies, sir? Cookie is a textual information. It allocates the memory on client machine. Cookies we can classify 2 types. One is persistent cookies. Second one is non-persistent cookies. I can say in-memory cookies and persistent cookies. What do you mean by in-memory cookies? It is valid for single session only, and it is removed each time when user closes the browser. So it is in-memory cookies will be validated. It will available for one user only, single session only. It's better for a single session only, because once they close the browser, the session will be expired. What about persistent cookie? Same. Persistent cookie is available. Persistent cookie is available time once a time is expired. If user log out or sign out. One more time. It is right. It is not removed each time when user closes the browser. It is removed only if user logged out or signed out. Okay. Got it clear? Now, advantage, let me tell you about cookie is a small textual information. It allocates a memory on client machine. Why we try to use cookies? To maintain the state between the resources, to maintain the state between state of the user. To maintain the state of the user, we generally try to use it. One more time. Right? Good. Now, look at now. So cookies will be created like this, sir. Cookie 1, cookie 2. The 2 cookies we can once you created. Cookie 1. So assume that S number 100. Cookie 2. as name and 200 Shiva. Then two cookies I created here. So whenever client gives a request, the two cookies will be created on server machine. Then as a response, these two cookies will be sent back to client. This is a browser. So here cookie 1, cookie 2 is a in-memory cookies. For example, if you set the cookie time period, set a time 3000 milliseconds. If you set the cookie 1, if I set the time CK1, then what will happen? The time, then cookie 1 will be available up to 3000 milliseconds. So cookie 1 and cookie 2 is as a response, it comes to a browser. Cookie 1 will be stored on file system. Cookie 1 will be stored on file system in form of key and value pairs. In the form of key and value pairs. Cookie 2. What is that? Cookie 2. Cookie 2 is cookie 2. What is cookie 2? Cookie 2 will be stored on the browser. Cookie 2 will be stored on browser. Right? Cookie 2 will be stored on the browser. One more time. Cookie 2 will be stored on browser. Cookie 1, cookie 2. Set time 3000 millisecond. CK1, CK2. S name and Shiva. Cookie 2 will be stored on browser window. Is it clear, everyone? Right. So once the cookies, once we cookie 1, cookie 2. So assume that's a place, one point. Once the browser window is closed, 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 cookie this browser, once the browser window is closed, cookie 2 will be destroyed. Okay, cookie 1 is available. Why? Because cookie 1 we set it like 3000 milliseconds, guys. Are you understand? So cookies we can classify two types. One is in-memory cookies. Second one is persistent cookies. In-memory cookies will be stored on browser window. Persistent cookies will be stored on client machine. Once we close the browser, in-memory cookies will be destroyed. Once we close the once time is expired, then cookie 1 also will be expired. Are you understand, please? When it will log out cookie 1. So once if it is removed only if user log out or sign out. The advantage of cookies, simple technique of maintaining the what is the advantage of cookie? To maintain of the state, cookies are maintained at client side. And one more thing is cookies will be maintained on client side. That is the major advantage of cookies. What is the disadvantage? It will not work if cookie is disabled. One more time. It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. Second point, only textual information can be set in cookie object. What is the disadvantage of cookie? It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser, right? What is the disadvantage of cookies? It will not work if cookie is disabled from the browser. Only textual information can be set in cookie object. That is a major disadvantage of cookie. And one more thing is Gmail uses cookie technique for login. If you disable the cookie Gmail, it won't work, sir. If you want, you can check that. Disabling the cookies. It won't work, it means that it not show the beauty way. So cookie classes will be available. Which package? javax.server.hd package. These theoretical points I'll send you in the notes, sir. Upload yesterday. Cookie like this. Is a cookie is a class. Right. So we have a lot of useful methods out there. Right. So I hope here set time, not set max age. Set max age. Actual method name is max age. Set max age. Then you can try to set like 3000 milliseconds like this. Is clear? Next, get name, get value. I hope you know that. That's it. Any question, please? So how to add the cookies? The cookies we created. If we have one method name is called add cookie method. Using add cookie method, we can type what are the cookies you created. The cookies we can add to cookie. We can add it using add cookie method. Right. Sure is fine. Can you show the practically so that I can understand? Why not? Same example, sir. Hidden form field technique I'm taking. The same example, I'll try to do the modification. Please observe that, please. Few modifications is enough, sir. Can you type change, please? HTML, I'm not changing anything. First servlet. See, first name and last name is common. Then here we use like hidden form fields, right? Here you are not required to specify that. Okay, then what I can do it. So let's try to create cookie, sir. Let's try to create cookie new cookie. Just we created a cookie class. Just we created a cookie class. Right? Then you can try to specify f name, comma. Then you can say f name. Got it? Next, one more cookie. ck1 new cookie. L name. Then you can say L name. Is it clear? This is the way we are trying to just two cookies we created. Then what we can do next step. These cookies, let's try to add to as a response. Response dot. I have to send these cookies to browser window. Add cookie. That's it, sir. This is the final touch. ck1 and ck. So by default, age is 0. Right? We are not required 0 time milliseconds. So the cookies will be stored on browser window. Are you clear, please? Anyone? Right. Understand, please, everyone? Look at now. So here I'm sending response dot, sorry, ck1 dot set max age. Then you can try to say 3000 milliseconds. So cookie one, we are setting age. It's like a persistent cookie. ck dot set max age, then 0. So what I can say? Changing the maximum age to 0 seconds. Changing the maximum age to 0 seconds. So it means that we are not setting any age, sir. Even if you not set, also no issues. Just I understanding purpose, I written like this. Got it? So here, how many cookies are there? 2 cookies. One cookie is in-memory cookies. One more cookie is, come on, persistent cookie. Are you clear, everyone? Yes, guys. Persistent cookies will be stored on the file system. In-memory cookies will be stored on browser window. That's it. How to delete the cookies? To then just simple, sir. What are cookie? What you can try to delete it? Oh, yes. Let me try to get the cookies. So ఇక్కడ ఏమైందంటే cookies create అయ్యి ఈ cookie ని browser పంపిస్తాను అన్నమాట. From the browser, the request comes to second servlet based on this form. Look at చేయండి second servlet వచ్చేసి ఇక్కడ. Yes. Here how to get it now? Sir, we not use like first name and last name ఇక్కడ వాడము అన్నమాట. ఎలా వాడతామంటే because it's coming like response from browser, right? Add cookie request dot get cookies. That's it, sir. Get cookies method. Request dot get cookies method. You can try to use it. Done. So what I can do that now? For loop int I equal to 0. I less than ck dot length plus I. Then you can try to use like this. Okay. Then what I can do that now, please. ck int I equal to 0. ck dot length method. This way. Now we can try to get madam. ఏం చేస్తాం? क्या करते इधर? Right. Now, so what I can do that now, pw dot print ln. Then you can try to use ck of I get name like this. Are you clear, everyone? Please. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Get name and get. So ఈ విధంగా క్విజ్ మెయింటైన్ చేయొచ్చమ్మా, ఏమి లేదు అంతే. Right. Let me try to write it, run it. Maven. Right. Output anyway, it comes the first name and now L name and now Hyderabad, India. J session ID and now. Are you clear, sir, please, everyone? Yes or no? So get name is not required. You can try to use get value. That's it. You want the value, yes, it value will be printed, sir, not required. Worry about it. Scan them and right. Are you clear? Yes. ఏమా ఇక్కడ CK2 బదులు I పెట్టమ్మా, అప్పుడు కరెక్ట్గా వస్తుంది. Right. Right. Now Manisha and now. Look at now. And Manisha, Hyderabad, like this. Perfect, right? This is session ID, sir. Are you clear? Everyone, please. Guys, okay, let me close this one. Just I'll use second servlet, sir. Nothing I'll use, sir. Only second servlet. We'll see that what will happen, okay? Control C. Just we are closing here. Then let me try to open the browser. CK is null, not understanding. What is CK? Is null. So observe that, guys, this is the way. Yes, you can try to use request.get cookies, blah, blah, blah stuff. Yes, you can try to perform the operations, sir. Nothing is there, sir. I hope you got an idea now. Right, sir, everyone? Any question, please? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Easy gunamma.
Yes, sir.
Right. సో ఒకటే గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఎలా వాడాలో అర్థం చేసుకోండి చాలు. మీరు అర్థం చేసుకున్నారంటే ఇంకేం లేదు ఇక్కడ.